Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Rocket Rabbit Commentaries, video game commentary over an EA game.
Yeah.
Also developed by Criterion Entertainment. So yeah, the guys that were eventually responsible for a bunch of the Call of Duty expansions. Welcome, everyone, to Burnout Paradise Remastered. We won't be doing Big Surf Island, but yeah, this is a combination arcade racing game. And what I mean by that will be very obvious by the gameplay footage that we'll be getting into relatively shortly. But most of this part is tutorializing and making sure that everyone knows that we'll be hearing Guns N' Roses' Paradise City a lot in this game.
Can't hardly wait, anybody?
To the Paradise City with them. Oh. Behold, tutorial.
The home of burnout driving. From the winding trails of the mountain to the grid network of
you may notice that this actually looks, kind of sort of ish like Grand Theft Auto, 5 and or Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And that's because we're a mismatch of various different coastal city locations.
New wrecks here. That doesn't sound like very promising.
Oh yeah, there will be wrecks. There will be lots of wrecks. Burnout Paradise is technically the 5th or 6th game, depending on who's counting, in the Burnout franchise. It is the last of the Burnout games in all technicality. This is Compass Rose and what this tutorial is attempting to show us is that there are effectively 8 different finish lines across the map, and knowing which finish line that you're going to is not that difficult because the start of the race will actually tell you what finish line you're going to, but getting there is up to you. Because I don't want to spoil that, but it's already been kind of spoiled. We're in an open world racing game akin to Need for Speed Underground 2.
winning events earns you a mark on your license.
I was going to say, I was starting to get vibes of Transformers, the game, where you have to drive to the place where the mission starts.
Yep.
Well, in this case, it's not a mission; it's a race opportunity.
Which is effectively a mission,
It's Grand Theft Auto, except you cannot get out of the car.
This is Crash FM, and I'm DJ Atomica.
Hey, Atomica.
Radio Big to be your guide.
Why is your voice so much louder than woman who is explaining how game functions?
My sound mixing is all messed up in my options. It's fine.
Oh, good morning, Paradise City. Welcome back to where the girls are pretty.
Paradise City. The best drivers have a burnout driver's license, but you've got a lot to prove before you can earn one of those.
Indeed, we have a lot to prove. We're going to be going all the way through to get the basic burnout license, and that means that we'll be clearing up learner's permit, D class, C class, B class, and A class. And here is our first vehicle. Isn't she a beauty, Mr. Cloud?
Perfect for a newcomer.
No, it looks like a piece of crap.
Well, to be perfectly honest, the basic Hunter Cavalry is honestly one of the better stunt vehicles in the game because it actually handles relatively nice. It's very slow in comparison to a bunch of the other vehicles that we'll be getting access to. But yeah, this for our first vehicle, it's actually not terrible. There are much worse vehicles in this game.
Oh, no doubt. The door. So there are 3 problems I've noticed with this car. The hood is all banged up. It needs a new paint job, and apparently the driver's side door doesn't even have a proper latch on it.
And now we have fixed all of those problems.
Oh, cool.
I absolutely love this game's soundtrack. To be perfectly honest, a majority of the reason to go out and attempt to play Burnout Paradise is because its soundtrack is amazing, and the sense of speed that you get throughout most of the gameplay is also fucking addicting as hell. I recommend this as a arcade racer to virtually anyone that I come across. This and Burnout 3 Takedown specifically. Burnout 3 Takedown has the problem of it is actually significant. It is extremely difficult to fully complete Burnout 3 Takedown. But if you're just looking for a decent time, Burnout 3 Takedown and Burnout Paradise are a great investment in your time.
Okay, I do like that. Just this really is GTA, except for the part that there are no pedestrians whatsoever. Everybody is just locked in a car for this entire game.
Yeah.
Good, so we can't hit anybody, but we can knock over streetlights.
Race south to the Wildcats baseball stadium.
And here is one of our more basic race types, the burning route. Every single base vehicle that you unlock in the game has a burning route that you can do for them. Doing so will unlock an upgraded version of that vehicle. The primary exceptions to this are the Hunter Cavalry itself, because this is supposed to be the first race event that you take on.
Signs help you find the next turn. Any shortcuts you'll have to find for yourself.
And this is where DJ Atomica explains to us how the HUD actually functions. And to be perfectly honest, the HUD works really, really well. It does. If you follow the HUD, you will more than likely take some of the more direct paths to and from the finish lines. And then all you got to really do for most race events is figure out how best to take those lines. As we are in a stunt vehicle, crashing into those billboards and doing jumps gives us more boost, which you can find at the bottom left part of the screen. Whoosh! First event complete. Haha.
Driver's license. Keep up your winning streak to advance to the next license.
I see that issued on date. That's the date that you recorded this, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. I like the game is using the clock attached to your game playing device. I like that.
Specifically my PC.
Day one, already on the verge of losing his license.
All right, so a thing that DJ Atomica attempted to go over that I was talking over is that on every single street light intersection across Paradise City is tied to a specific event. And finding all of the events and figuring out what events that you want to do is one of the bigger end goals for completion for Burnout Paradise. Also, super jump. There are specific vehicles that you can unlock for finding all the billboards on all the super jumps and beating all of the not burning lap times, but what is it? I forget what the actual descriptor is for the times that are tied to individual streets. But if you manage to beat all of them, there are specific carbon vehicles that you can unlock that are effectively just different skins of the highest end versions of those vehicles, but they are pretty cool. I've never actually gotten them because 100%ing Burnout Paradise requires that you know the ins and outs of all three vehicle types, and also which of the vehicle types are the actual best in their class. And I just straight up don't know what are the best on when it comes to both speed and stunt. I have a lot of particular favorites when it comes to speed and stunt vehicles, and to be perfectly honest, stunt is actually the best class of vehicle in the game. But the best vehicles tend to actually be in the speed class. This game has got a lot of nuances going on, but you don't have to focus on them specifically. You can in fact ignore a large majority of them. Pick out a vehicle that you want to stay with. Oh, yes, the motorcycles. The motorcycles were DLC because we are playing Burnout Paradise Remastered specifically. We've got access to a majority of the DLC stuff, like Big Surf Island. I will not be touching the motorcycles or Big Surf Island during the playthrough, because Big Surf Island is more or less just a combination of stunt events that I don't want to do, and the motorcycles don't actually allow you to, don't actually have you progress forward in anything aside from, how cool they are. To be perfectly honest, the motorcycles actually handle really fucking good, and they are a joy to drive in, but they're not important for the playthrough. So, for beating the burning route with the Hunter Cavalry, we got the Hunter Oval Champ 69, and yeah, This is one of the only instances in the game where beating the burning route gives you a different class of vehicle. The Oval Champ 69 is an aggression class vehicle, meaning it wants to do car combat very specifically. Burnout as a series adopted car combat as a Burnout 3 takedown. And it did this because a lot of players were having a lot of fun during Burnout 1 and 2 of just crashing their vehicles into shit and watching the physics engine play out. Which, you know, still is a thing that that happens in this game, just not as much. So now we have an entire class of vehicles dedicated to car combat, along with some, you know, pretty special vehicles that we'll be able to unlock down the line that are especially good at car combat. The Oval 69 is not honestly all that good at car combat, but it will allow us to complete our next event, Rescue Me. This is a marked man event, and what that means is that we have a certain amount of lives in order to get to the end point. But what I mean by lives is, where are they? Come on, show up. They're right next to us. Those guys. Those flat black vehicles there. They are stupidly heavy.
Right.
And if you attempt to fight them directly with virtually any vehicle in the game, they will actually beat you. But you can, in fact, with specific vehicles, actually take them out in order to restore your boost. Because scoring a takedown fully restores your boost gauge at the bottom left with any of the vehicle types. It's actually very nice about that. But yeah, we have a limited number of lives in order to get to the end of this particular race. The key here specifically is to, especially with the Oval Champ 69, is to actually avoid the car combat with these vehicles because, like I mentioned, you're probably not going to win. However, as you did just notice, we are able to, in some instances, actually just throw them into the wall. One of the more exploitable things about this game is the fact that the AI is not really good or, you know, difficult to manipulate. I say it's not difficult to manipulate, although I have no idea how to successfully manipulate it. But yeah, it is very easy. It is very easy in marked man events to restore your boost if you bother to double tap the black cars into walls or oncoming traffic. It's not supposed to be that easy, but it is that easy, and I'm thankful for it because otherwise marked man would actually be my least favorite event because you effectively have to take aggression vehicles into it then. And right now you just should. There we go. We have successfully completed our learner's permit.
Yay.
Which gives us a D-class license, right?
Congratulations.
Better license, more capabilities.
Yes, we are now a Class D license. In the next episode, we'll continue on and we'll actually get to use this new vehicle, the Hunter Mesquite.
Celebrate upgrading your license with a new car.
For the record, expiration dates on licenses typically follow the issued on date, not beforehand.
Waha.